Thank you for joining us tonight for the GPAC post-game press conference. We have head coach Tim Bergstraser, student-athlete Jacob Beeninga of the MSU Moorhead Dragons. The Dragons have won the 2023 NSIC men's basketball tournament after a 79-69 win over Minnesota Duluth. We'll start off with an opening statement from head coach Tim Bergstraser and then open it up for any questions. Coach?
Well, we knew it was going to be a big-time battle coming into it. We knew it was going to be a competitive basketball game, and going into it, we had to understand that we needed a lot of mental focus, and we told the guys this morning it was going to be a lot more here than more of the physical. Obviously, a physical piece is important, and I give these guys a lot of credit for handling that. And, I mean, I got so much respect for Wick and Duluth in general just because, I mean, they're a great basketball program. They've done great things, and, I mean, they always battle. And you guys saw it. I mean, that last few minutes of the game took like, 20, 30 minutes just in general. So, and we knew it was going to be like that. We knew they were going to go down swinging and trying to take us out. And I'll give our guys some credit, too, for handling it, managing the game. I think we turned over a little too much at the end, but, I mean, that's just part of basketball sometimes. And that was a tough competitive basketball game for a championship game. So, you know, I'm just real happy for these guys, and they deserve it so much, and they work so dang hard. And on top of that, with their high character, it's a pretty good package for these guys.
Coach, 12 made threes tonight. Was that part of the game plan? I mean, I know you kind of told me that you just kind of let the guys play within themselves and let them play within the flow of the game. But 12 made threes tonight, was that a focus, or was that just kind of like you said, just what happened?
Well, I think every shot was falling for us. It seemed like in that first half, and again, that's just how the game goes. Sometimes, fortunately, it was on our end, and I mean, our focus going into the game was just high quality, unforced shots. And I mean, there was still some forced looks, but because we got some guys that can play make for themselves, but just in that type of game, and I mean, we were down some bodies. We just felt like we needed just the best possession that we possibly could get, and then just credit the guys that are really good at scoring the basketball. They're hitting tough shots, so it was good for us to have that kind of offensive hot start. But no, I was not expecting it to fall like that. But it's great when it's in a championship game.
Can you speak a little bit to Lorenzo, just these past two games, 40 minutes today, definitely played a lot of minutes yesterday, obviously the game winner, and then today really efficient, 3 for 3 from deep and 6 for 11 overall. Can you speak to just his impact on this team these past couple of days?
Well, he's just wired as a winner, and just on top of that, just being a relentless competitor, and just on top of him being an outstanding basketball player, just his character and just his leadership for our program has been outstanding ever since he got here in his first year, to see where he's at now and how he's led this team. And we got multiple leaders on this team, but he's really just put a lot on his back of just like using his voice and just getting these guys, like if maybe we're a little bit rattled, that'll sometimes happen in a game, he brings everybody together. But just the way that he could score the basketball in multiple ways, I mean, that just really helps our offense, and it opens things up for other guys who could do the same thing. But, I mean, he's just one of those guys, he likes to make tough plays. And he really just has a mindset of doing whatever it takes to win a basketball game. And you know, it's not always going to go good for him, but he just cares so much about the guys around him and whatever it takes to win a basketball game.
Jacob, struggled a little bit from the floor tonight and last night, but you just seem to keep hitting timely shots, just no matter – it seemed when UMD made a run tonight, you know, they cut it to, I want to say, maybe 10, 12, and they felt like they were getting back in the game. You hit a really big three to make it, I think, a 14-point game. And even when you were, you know, your shot wasn't falling, you just kept looking for it. You stayed aggressive. What was the key factor in just being able for you to, you know, to stay aggressive and keep being the offensive player that I'm sure this team looks to you to be?
I mean, I think it's a combination of just all the talent that we have offensively. And, you know, when shots aren't falling for me, you know, I kind of sometimes try to force a little bit, but I think I did. Bergie talked to me at halftime just saying, you know, it's going to come, like, don't force it. And I think just that leadership from him, like, kind of, even, like, I think of myself as a poised player, but sometimes, you know, heat of the moment I try to force. And, you know, Bergie and Spence, they all just come up to me, like, we trust you, just don't force, like, just do your thing. And I think it's just trust, like, from me to coach and coach to me. And, you know, it's fun when you hit those big shots then, you know, like, kind of silence the crowd a little bit. It's fun. But I think it's just trust overall. Like, you see that in these last 3 games. You know, yesterday we trust Zoe to hit that shot, to make a play for us. Today, trust Dane to go get rebounds. Trust a true freshman to start in his first game ever in a conference championship. I mean, Drew has barely, I don't know, he's up and down minutes this year, but he steps in, hits a big 3. I mean, it just shows you, like, the program we have, like 14 deep, 15 deep, whatever we have, you know.
And also, I forgot what I was going to ask. Oh, it came back to me. So, what was the message among the team? I mean, obviously, going into the half up by the margin you were up, you're up by 19, and I'm sure it might have even been surprising even for you guys. Obviously, you have a lot of respect for that team. You played them last year in this exact same situation. So to go up by 19 and a half, what was the message amongst the team to kind of, stay focused? Because I'm sure you guys were telling yourselves that they were going to make a run at some point.
Just win. I'd win, Zoe kept saying that, just win, win. I think that's the one word that it comes down to. And, Spencer Berge were saying too, these last few second halves against Sioux Falls and Bemidji, they came out strong against us, kind of cut that lead. And so we were just we can't let that happen. And, they made their run, but I think we did a better job today of kind of holding them off a little better and, keeping it at 10, 15, whatever it was. Because, it's a championship game. It's not going to be a 20-point blowout the whole time. So, you just got to stay poised. And that's where our leaders came in, Lorenzo and Gavin. Every time they'd come up to us, be like, yo, guys, we're good. Don't get out of control. Just show yourselves, be available. And I think it's just leadership across the team.
Coach, obviously, you and Coach Wick come from the same coaching tree. You coached together for a few years under Coach Walthall, and now you being the head coach of this program now in your very first year. And obviously on the other side, Coach Wick, he's been a head coach over there for some time. Just personally, was there a bit of a moment, for you, just kind of a feeling of necessarily maybe a rival, just in the sense of being able to be here in this moment, lead you guys this far, and also to compete against somebody that you worked with for quite some time, so a lot of familiarity and respect there. Was there a bit of a sense of a rival for you in this moment tonight at any point?
I guess you could say it might be somewhat of a rival, but it's just because we have so much respect for each other, and we're at each other's throats, and that's why competition could be fun. But like I said before, just the respect that I have for Wick, it's huge. And for what he's done for me, when I was a graduate assistant under the program, he helped me out a lot along the way, gave me a lot of insight of just how this level is. And then even when he moved on and I moved to other spots too, he's just given me a lot of input on my journey too. But yeah, going into it, it's edgy, and we know that's all because we want to beat each other. We're working together. We're very competitive people, and that's just the nature of the game sometimes. But that's what makes it fun.
And also, just this being your first year, what kind of you're setting the bar pretty high. So
Yeah.
So, just obviously every year is different and every team is different, and any coach will say that. But just in terms of, the type of precedent that this sets for the program, how does it feel to start off on such a high note? And obviously your season's not done, but, winning this tournament in this environment, in Sioux Falls, where you were last year, and now being at the helm, what kind of a precedent do you believe that sets for this program?
I think it's a great thing, and fortunately for this program, just over the last decade or so, there's been pretty solid success. It's nothing to pat ourselves on the back on, but we are proud of it. We just try to keep things very simple, and we just try to get low maintenance people in our family, and that seemed to work out just fine for us. We're pretty meat and potatoes, and we're pretty vanilla in what we do. But we have a lot of pride in who we are, and starting out this way for me as the first year as a head coach, I'm really trying to focus on just day by day with these guys, and I'm soaking in every piece that I possibly can, because we got a locker room full of outstanding people, and they're very good at basketball, but just their character attached to it is pretty cool. So like I said, we're taking it day by day. We said that since our first meeting this year. It's going to be focusing one day at a time, and we're not going to worry about anything ahead of us, because if we focus where our feet are at, I think we'll be just fine.
Coach just mentioned not looking too far ahead, but Jacob, obviously this is kind of this is obviously a big moment, and you're not done yet. So just in terms of being a player and being considered a leader on this team, how do you balance being able to celebrate this championship and everything, but also acknowledging that there is more in store for this team, there is more to come for as big of an accomplishment as this is for you guys?
This is a great conference. There's so many good teams. It's hard to get. It's even hard to get to the Pentagon, just to the quarterfinals. And I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna celebrate this one. We're gonna enjoy this. It's hard to do this. Before last year, we at MSU never won one, so now we're back to back. So we're gonna enjoy this one. But come tomorrow, 2 days from now, whatever, it's right back to day by day, like Bergie said, and he helps lead us like that. He sets the expectation for us, and we follow in his lead. So it's just day by day, like he said.
Coach, for you, just how do you manage these next couple of days, or the next, I believe, is it a whole week or?
It's like
Yeah,
a
like
week
this
and a
one.
half. Yeah, it's like
week
a week
and a half.
half.
How do you manage this week and a half of, you just played, long, grueling schedule. You just played through a gauntlet of a tournament. I mean, just back-to-back days of games. So now you got a week and a half before, Selection Sunday and then the tournament. So how do you manage that, being in this position?
We're going to do a lot of resting. The Dragons are beat up right now. So, and I even said that going into today. I grabbed a couple of our guys and I said, hey, like, it might be a 40-minute game tonight. And I said, and I know how these guys are wired, like they don't want to leave the floor anyway. I basically tell them, if you want to get out the floor, let me know, which I know how that goes. But yeah, we're just focusing on just enjoying this, and we're going to get some much-needed rest. Some guys got to get their feet taken care of. And then we'll get back to it. We'll ease our way back into it. And again, we're gonna stay in good old Sioux Falls tonight and just relax, and we'll get back home and get back to business.
Jacob, being the MVP, I mean, Coach had said multiple leaders on the team. What does this award mean for you to get this here in the tournament?
I mean, it's very humbling for sure, And I just honestly, I think I should give this to all my teammates. You see the work that Dane Zimmer did this weekend. I think he averaged a double-double. In an NSIC tournament, are you kidding me? But Lorenzo hits the game winner yesterday. Gavin hitting big shots today. I mean, honestly, it could have gone to any of us, and it's very humbling to receive it myself. And, I'm just happy we got this guy right here. This stuff comes with it, but, at the end of the day, that's what we work for. I was thinking about it this morning. It's those mornings in the summer when it's 6 a.m., and I'm like, man, I can sleep right now, but you just got to get up and get to work, and that's sometimes you're blessed to receive stuff like that. So, but it honestly could have gone to any of us teammates for sure.
Jacob, Coach, thanks for joining us tonight on the GPAC post-game press conference. Good luck in the NCAA tournament.
Thank you.
Thank you.